Hi, my name is Pete Ockleshaw and I would like to share a journey with you that I was privileged to make in Kalimantan in Indonesian Borneo. It involves one of our closest relatives, an animal we share 97% DNA with, the critically endangered Borneo orangutan. I was over there to be part of the filming of the release of 5 orangutans back into the wild. It was an incredible experience and something that illustrates that in a world where there are so many stories of doom and gloom when it comes to our impact on wildlife and the natural world, that there are great people doing great things to make a positive difference. These people are from an organisation called the Borneo Orangutan Survival Foundation, or BOS, and this story is as much about their tireless work as it is about freeing these beautiful apes. We begin in the Indonesian province of East Kalimantan at Samboja Lestari Orangutan Sanctuary, which was built by BOS to rescue and rehabilitate orangutans. Here are the 5 travel crates that the 5 orangs are going to go in. As you can see, nice and sturdy. They've got the picture of the orang in there. This is for Julian, the male. He's 72 kilograms. And then the rest are for the girls. This one here is for female Nicola. She's 103 kilos, so carrying her through the jungle to release her is going to be no mean feat. Inside you can see they've got their vegetation. They make it as comfortable as possible, a bit of a nest sort of thing, and of course this is all vegetation they're familiar with in their natural surroundings, so try and make it as comfortable as possible for the orangs throughout the journey. Here are the trusty utes that the orangs are going to go in. The crate will go in the back there. You can see there's the BOS flag and the Indonesian flag. There's quite a bit of ceremony to this. There'll be a full parade down the street and hopefully some villagers come out because it's a really amazing time for the locals as well as, of course, the orangutans. I'm not going to lie to you, I've always wanted to wear one of these masks because it means you're really close to them. Of course, we wear them because being primates, we can pass on the same diseases to them. So, of course, we want to make Nicola's journey as comfortable as possible, so she'll enjoy those bananas. So, Johnny, you've been around orangutans quite a lot, my friend. You're the director at Texas
Park Zoo, and Terry is a curator of programs and exhibits, and we both work a lot with orangutans. Trip of a lifetime. It's an enjoyable mission. We have helped to send medical equipment over here in the past and a little bit of funding. We have Dr. Jamartin Sihite come over to the United States, and he's spoken at several of our events to help raise awareness and funds for Samboja Lestari.
So they're about to sedate the orangs and put them in the crates. Some need more sedative than others. Most of them will just need a mild sedative so they can be fed along the journey. All the orangutans that need sanctuary at Samboja Lestari have their own often difficult story as to how they came to be there. Nicola, for example, was rescued by the Borneo Orangutan Survival Foundation from someone who had her kept illegally as a pet. And now rehabilitated, she is ready to go back to the rainforests of Borneo. Our journey will take us over 700 kilometres to the north of this large Indonesian province, to the forest of KG Sawan, which is a habitat dedicated to the rehabilitation of the Borneo orangutan. East Kalimantan is one of the least densely populated provinces in Indonesian Borneo. However, this is going to change as a result of the decision to place here the future capital of Indonesia, with construction set to be finished in 2024. Let's hope that sites like KG Sawan stay protected with this recent development. So we're about 2.5 hours into our journey and we've stopped at a government organisation. What's going to happen next is the government is going to give authority for us to release orangutans into the forest. I'm here with former model Dafina and current ambassador for BOS.
Yes.
How long have you been an ambassador for BOS?
Since 2 years ago.
Fantastic. Yeah. And what involvement have you got?
I always go to their activities to the forest, releasing orangutan, and I spreading the awareness through the media and through my social media also about the importance of orangutan and the forest.
One of the main reasons BOS exists in the first place is because of palm oil plantations. The destruction of orangutan rainforest to make way for palm oil has been a reason that orang numbers are in such dire straits. However, BOS has managed to form a relationship with a massive palm oil plantation, and they have designated 100 hectares of their land to conservation of orangs. They house 4 wild orangutans at the moment, and they've been part of the rehabilitation of others and the release into the wild. And they've really backed the whole program. And there's no reason why other palm oil plantations can't get on board and do the same thing. We're on our final leg. We've said our final prayers. We're about to get in the cars, drive another 3 hours or so into the jungle and then release the orangutans. It goes without saying that the welfare of the orangutans is first and foremost. So we've just had a quick stop to feed them, to check them that they're not too stressed and that they're comfortable for their last leg of the journey. So finally we're getting the orangutans off the ute after almost 18 hours on the truck. It's really exciting to have them finally off there. The local Dayak tribe perform a ceremony to let us know we are welcome in their territory and to celebrate the release of the 5 orangutans. Wow, that was really powerful. Quite a moving ceremony. I wasn't expecting that, and I certainly wasn't expecting a gift such as this. It obviously means a lot to the Dayak tribe that we are here in their region, and clearly the work that BOS does with the orangutans means a lot to them as well. Behind me across the river is the orangutans' new home. I'm both nervous and excited, and I've got a feeling I've never really had before. This is the most incredible experience. Behind us you can see the orangutans are in the crates. We're on the boat going across to their new home. They're about to join us, and then we're going to walk into that jungle and free them. It is so exciting. This is as intrepid as it gets. It's actually quite amazing to be here. But I must say, I'm hot and I'm tired just from walking up from the river, and I'm not carrying an orangutan. So these guys who are about to bring these orangs up to be freed in this jungle are super strong and so dedicated. Of course, when you're in the jungle, you've got to be worried about certain things like this leech. I reckon they're awesome. I love them. Oh, they're so cool.
2, 1.
So the moment has arrived. Cheryl is about to be released. In fact, my friend Sharon's going to be pulling up the chute, and it's a real honour for her to be doing that. It's a massive moment in this orangutan's life, of course, and a huge amount of people around. They're so excited. It's quite emotional, to be honest with you. Hopefully she just rolls right up that tree, and then we stay and monitor her for a little bit, make sure she's comfortable, and then the team will come and stay here and monitor her and make sure that she builds her first nest. And that's an indication that she's pretty comfortable here. So our orangutans have just spent their first night in their new wild homes, and we're about to leave camp, but the work's far from over. A team went out this morning at 5 o'clock to monitor our orangutans and other orangutans that have been released in the past, and they'll be out in the field till 7 o'clock tonight when that orang's made its nighttime nest. The amount of dedication, the amount of passion, the amount of people, the amount of involvement in this project is quite mind-blowing. But I truly believe that if they keep this work up, and with our help, we can save the orangutan. Not all the orangutans here in Samboja Orangutan Sanctuary are able to be released. We're going to visit an individual called Papa who came here as a 4-year-old. He was wounded and had TB or suspected tuberculosis. And so he was put into quarantine and then eventually put into his own island, which is surrounding me at the moment is all the islands, individual islands for individual orangutans. So although they're not fit for release into the wild, they are certainly in their own sanctuary and they've got their own wild homes here in Samboja Lestari. It took a little while for us to get Papa out, and I think he might be disappearing now into his little safe haven because apparently he doesn't like men. He feels like he competes against us for perhaps his territory or perhaps the females that live on his island. So if he sees us as competitors, it just goes to show how closely related we really are to these amazing great apes. Unfortunately, Papa's story is one of many. There's quite a number of individuals that are in the same boat as Papa. And BOS mandate is to release all its individuals out of cages, and if they can't be released into the wild, then they get an amazing island home like Papa has. Of course, in order to execute that goal, they need a lot of support, and support now more than ever for all their orangutans.
BOS already started 1991. We tried to save orangutan, but we finally understood we cannot do it alone. The problem is we need forest. We need forest, but to find forest is not easy. Sometimes we have to negotiate with the politicians, negotiate with the government. Finally, we found it's better buy the land and then use it for the orangutan. In 2012, we have almost 900 orangutan in our center. It's around 250 in Samboja Lestari in East Kalimantan and almost more than 650 in here in Jamartin. But start 2012, we start releasing orangutan. How? Why we could start releasing orangutan? In 2010, we changed our strategy. Not arguing and begging the land, but buying the license of the land and releasing orangutan. We paid $1.4 million to get the license of concession. We got support from all our friends from the world. And then we start to release orangutan. And now, after 2012, 2019, now 7 years or more, almost 7 years, we already released 400 orangutan. But we still have 150 orangutan in Samboja and around 350 here. That's why the numbers of orangutan in our center now is almost more or less 500 orangutan. And from the 500, there are almost 90 cannot release to be the white one. We have to taking care them in our center as unreleasable, but we plan to make them living with the tree in the island, not in the cages. The big problem for us and the for orangutan is for the unreleasable orangutan. You are animal lovers, we are animal lovers. We need to make the orangutan living comfortable with the tree. We make the island, we make forest in that island, we let the orangutan go to the island, to the tree, even not to the wild. And the orangutan will living till the end of their life with the tree and not in the cages. That's our dream. That's why BOS tried to make the campaign orangutan freedom, free from cages. We are the biggest organization as a rescue center, but our dream, BOS Foundation dream, is we need to be the smallest organization taking care of orangutan in the cages, but we will be the biggest organization taking care of forest and orangutan who living there. It means in the next 5 years, we hope all of orangutan already become their release, living with the tree in the forest, and unreleasable, not stay in the cages, but stay in the island with the tree. And the numbers of orangutan in our center in the cages will be small numbers. We need everybody working together. When we put the orangutan in the wild, this is not only saving the orangutan, we save our humanity. Why? Because when we put orangutan in the wild, in the forest, they will gardening the forest, make the forest become better. You and me could get the fresh water, you and me could get the fresh air, and a lot of biodiversity. At the end, it benefits going to us. That's why I'm not trying to begging everybody in the world, but let's working together, because we want to save the humanity, to save you and to save me, and to save our next generation. If I begging you, it's something like you are like the center class giving us support. No, you have to save yourself. I have to save myself, and we together we could save the humanity. That's why I need everybody working together and find the solution. Everybody has the role. My role, my team role is working in the front line. You could do in your part. Volunteers help us doing the enrichment. Volunteers could help us distribute to the world what BOS Foundation do to the orangutan. And others, they could support. Even for us, not only $1, 5 cents is a lot for us, for the orangutan.
Thank you for joining me on that journey. I hope it gave you a positive feeling about the plight of the Borneo orangutan and a better insight into the incredible work that BOS carries out. I'm pleased to report that the 5 orangs we released are thriving in their new environment, and the nature of the protected area in which they live means that they will thrive into the future. The release of these 5 individuals is not a once-off. BOS undertakes this enormous mission several times a year. If you would like to help BOS keep up this amazing work, you can opt to volunteer in their sanctuary or simply donate